I would like to change your hearts. And above all, I would like to untie your fetters, give you back your freedom, and send you back to your fatherlands. But, my dear galley slaves, you are my brothers. You cannot see my face, but your sorely wounded hearts are well known to me. Instead of the freedom and fatherlands which I cannot give you now, while you are the poor slaves of mighty men, I will give you a greater freedom and fatherland. For your sake, I have become a prisoner myself, far from my fatherland. I will redeem you by offering myself in ransom, because you are not the disgrace of the world as men call you, but the shame of man who forgets the limits of the rigours of war and justice. I will make a new law for you on the earth, and a pleasant abode for you in heaven. Remember my name, O children of God who are weeping. It is the name of a friend. Repeat it in your suffering. Be sure that if you love me, you will have me, even if we never see one another on the earth. I am Jesus Christ, the Saviour, your friend. I comfort you in the name of the true God. May peace come to you soon. Just to interrupt the dictation, we see that Jesus, although we see him as God, as he obviously is, he's not offering to overthrow the Romans, to storm this ship, to break the chains, literally break the chains of these men and set them free. He's consoling them, and he's saying they will have a greater freedom and fatherland. But for their lives, they're going to be galley slaves. And they need to accept that. And their masters should treat them kindly. But there's no guarantee that they will. Still, these men must accept their position as galley slaves. And this is the nature of Christianity. It's not a revolutionary religion. Jesus says he himself has come as an exile. He is effectively became a slave for us. And we know, of course, he died for us. And we're to imitate him. And this is difficult for us. We're free. I'm sure the people watching this video are free. And hopefully we don't have much want. And hopefully we're comfortable. And so the idea that we could be transported to a time and a place where we would be slaves of any sort, let alone galley slaves, in the bottom of a ship, which will stink of filth and be full of vermin, that's extremely hard to accept. And it's hard to accept without the idea that we'd rebel against that. But nonetheless, this is the message of the gospel. And perhaps the point is that when you're in a particular social situation, you might balk at it, but in the end you accept it. If we were led off in chains by some foreign power, we'd be thinking about the past, of course, like in the Boney M song, which is taken from a psalm. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat and wept, remembering Zion. So, one in the end gets used to whatever circumstances one is, but we must thank God that we are not galley slaves. But we'd have to learn to accept it if we were. Resuming then. A crowd of people, mainly Romans, have gathered round Jesus, whose new ideas have astonished everybody. By Jove, you have made me ponder on new things of which I had never thought before. I feel they are true. Publius Quintilianus looks at Jesus pensive and moved at the same time. It is so, my friend. If man used his brains, he would never go so far as to commit a crime. By Jove, by Jove. Wonderful words. I must remember them. You said, if a man used his brains, he would never go so far as to commit a crime. It is true. You are really a great man, you know. Every man who wanted could be as great as I am if he were all one with God. The Roman continues his sequence of by Joves in increasing admiration. Then Jesus says to him, can I give some solace to those galley slaves? I have some money, some fruit, some comfort, that they may know that I love them. Give me it. I can do that. On the other hand, there is a lady over there who can do much. I will ask her. Publius goes to the litter and speaks through the curtains that have been slightly drawn. He comes back. I am authorized to do it. I will see to the distribution so that the jailers may not take advantage of it. And it will be the only time a soldier of the empire deals mercifully with war slaves. The first, but not the only time. The day will come when there will be no slaves, and even before that, my disciples will go among galley men and slaves and call them brothers. A further sequence of by Joves can be heard in the calm air while Publius is waiting to have enough wine and fruit for the galley slaves.